Welcome to the 2022 Brisbane Trail Ultra. Over the course of the weekend, we'll see runners participate, compete and push themselves to reach the finish line across multiple distances and some incredible terrain in the heart of Queensland's capital city. At the Brisbane Trail Ultra, points are on the line as part of the Spartan Trail World Championship event, with the 30-kilometre challenge and the 100-mile ultra being fiercely competed throughout the weekend. Follow along as we celebrate, support and enjoy the athleticism on display through some of Brisbane's best trails. The BTU crew and supporting community welcome you to the Brisbane Trail Ultra.
Jen.
Woo. Brisbane Trail Ultra, we are back. It's been a few hours since we concluded the coverage of our 30k event, and also all the 60s are home now, and we have, Jody, we have just seen our winner of the 110k come across the line.
Yeah, how exciting. Jen Millam, she's come across from Western Australia. She came here last year and finished second in the 110k. We managed to get out
there and get the
tape out for her.
Well done, Jody.
And she was so excited. I had to call Ben, please come give me a hand.
And we did it.
And she was really excited to finish it because she said she's never run through a tape before. So, and then that's not something you get to do often in an ultra. So it's really cool that we can do that for people here. So, so that's another good reason to come here and run hard is because you get to run through a tape. So, we're just showing you a little bit of footage now from Corrimalling Park. This would have been, it was pretty cold there this morning. You were there, weren't you?
Yeah, it was probably
Ben?
about 8 degrees. I was thereabouts, pretty chilly.
I wasn't there. I was at home and I did get up. Is that 4:41 a.m? That's showing there on the clock?
That's correct. That's the actual time of day, yes.
Yeah, no, I was still in bed then.
Yeah, no, I was definitely there.
I did get up at 5 and I actually did go for a run this morning, but I'm committed to helping out talking to you here all day today.
Exactly.
So really cool to see people all geared up. They look pretty awake for 4:40 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that rocked up really early, ready, prepared, excited, and then just hung around and chatted in front of all the heaters. And
a lot of we're talking about preparation. I think we're going to talk a bit about preparation.
Yeah,
and a lot of preparation does go into running 100 miles. You can see all their gear bags. And that's just one little element of it, because there's so much gear you need. You got to have a lot of. It's cold out. It's cold now at the finish line. We just checked temperature. It's 8 degrees.
Yes, we're double rugged up. Yeah,
I've got my thermals on. It was just as cold this morning, but we've had great weather during the day.
Yeah.
But you can see everyone there with their drop bags. A lot of planning goes into what you want and what you need, your nutrition, your gear. We have mandatory gear for a reason because it gets really cold out there tonight. If you're walking or you'll get stuck somewhere, you really do know that. So, a lot of preparation. And that's just the gear.
Yeah.
Not to mention the weeks, months
of training
that goes into preparing for one of these events.
What I really loved is listening to everyone, meeting up and chatting around the heaters and talking about their training and where they're at and what their goals are, and encouraging each other, and just saying giving advice where needed to each other. And it's great. Like, some of them was probably strangers, never met each other before, and then they're encouraging each other and about to go off on this great challenge, great adventure. So it was really cool.
It's amazing how when I go to these events, I always make a heap of new friends.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
A lot of the time I'm doing track events where we're quite close to each other the whole time. But still, I do make a lot of friends at finish lines, at checkpoints, on the course. I got into trouble once. I was doing a job very similar to this up at another event up on the coast. And I was talking at the finish line and talking about a couple coming in. And a male and a female come in, and I said, look, they look like they've developed quite a bit of rapport out there on the trail. And it turns out that it was a friend of mine now, Kelly, and her husband was just like, hey, that's my wife. But all was good.
Yeah.
Like we're friends,
Yeah.
nothing more. So yeah, you do.
Hey, there's me. I can look at it. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, wearing the same jacket as well. What do you know? Jackets.
Someone in a moon boot. They've trained a bit too hard for this event, I think.
You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So. Okay, so we've had the 30k. We've actually had the course record in the 30k broken this afternoon.
Yes, that's correct.
The female
Female
runner, Spanish lady, she did the Mont Blanc marathon
And won
2
it.
weeks ago, won it, and come here today.
Yeah, Sarah.
Really great to have her in Australia, and to have a great run on this course.
And destroyed the record.
Fortunately set by Cecilia last year. So we're seeing every year great runners come back and really challenge themselves on these trails and have some great runs and achieve some great results. The 110k record again also went a bit earlier today. We had Mike Carroll. He came back to defend his title.
11 hours and
came here
8 minutes.
fresher, and finished 11 hours and 8 minutes. We've just had as we just mentioned, our female winner come through. But we're going to talk to you now more about the miler and what's going on out there. We've got a Mozzie.
It's all good.
It's inevitable that we'll get milers. We've had a few withdrawals. I mean, that's inevitable in an event like this. But we've still got a great number of people out there on the course. Of course, the cold, the course, it's all going to take its toll through the night. But they seem to be still moving quite well. Someone who's moving extremely well.
Yes.
And we've been tracking him all day, and we're just amazed to just see him just keep moving through the course. Is Vlad?
Yeah. He's doing so good.
He's well out in front.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard from the tracker to determine exactly because we've got
some
in
earlier
the 100
starters.
miles,
Earlier starters that have. So we just got to try and factor them into when they started. And on the tracker can look like that they're very close, but they could have started 5 hours early, which is obviously.
But we do know he has a commanding lead.
Yeah, he does.
So we know the course record for the miler was broken last year for both the men and the women. So each year we seem to have the course time come down for that miler.
Yeah.
So the course record at the moment for the miler is 19 hours for the men, 19 hours and set by Matt Crean, who fortunately didn't get back here this year.
Yeah.
I've got it on the other side. 19 hours 53.
1953, Matt
So
Crean.
that would have Vlad finishing at what time? Come on, that's your job.
Well, 12:53. He'd have to come in better than 12:53. So
12:53 a.m.
Yeah, that's right. So, but we think he could definitely be before midnight.
Yeah, so we've been tracking him, and we've just seen he's had his cucumber sandwiches. He's come across that Litchfield track, which we know as a Strava segment as Andy's cucumber sandwiches, or Andy's for short.
Yeah.
He'll be making his way. It'll be actually the BTR guys, Brisbane Trail Runner guys. We'll be looking forward to seeing him at checkpoint 6. That's that last checkpoint before they send him out up the Red Bull climb. So he'll be looking forward to a bit of downhill. So we think we might see Vlad before midnight.
Yeah.
So, and that'll be a course record, of course. He's just moving so well.
Yeah, it's so cool. So.
Yeah, and we've been tracking the women too. So Mari, who is our course record holder for the 100 mile, and I think I've already spoken about how the record times are coming. The times have been coming down every year. She's still well out in front. Her record, she set the record last year in 23 hours, 29 minutes, and that has actually, she took hours off that record, so it'd be really good to see her come in close to that. So that would have her coming in around 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in this morning. we'll still be here to welcome her in. So actually on that note, we might actually go to an interview now with Mari, who is our course record holder and winner last year in the 100 mile.
Hey, it's Shona here and I'm with Marie Connor, who was our BTU 100 mile winner last year and our record holder. She absolutely smashed the record. So welcome back, Marie.
Thank you. I'm excited. Happy to be back.
So Marie is originally from Brisbane, is that correct? And so it's kind of like coming home to you, isn't it?
It is, although I've never run the trails here. I'm excited to do them again this year. They're beautiful. They're so lovely.
So what's your, look, because you've run the 100 mile, you've had the pleasure of running the whole course. What's your favourite part of the course?
The rainforest, I reckon, that's so lovely up there. But I was just saying to Shona before, I'm really excited to run down in through the city and over the Friendship Bridge, and yeah, that's going to be amazing. Come down Latrobe and overview of the city. I think that's going to be amazing. On everything.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I'm a good downhill runner and I know that you're a good downhill runner and I look at the last 10Ks as like cheating 10 kilometres, right? So is that kind of how you look at the last 10Ks of this race?
Yeah, yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't matter if you fuel, doesn't matter anything, you just go on pure adrenaline and love to get in, I reckon.
So what is your strengths when you do run? Is it particularly downhill running?
I like downhill running. My running is not excellent, actually. It's my brain and my mindset, I think, which is my strength. So when everyone gets tired, I start moving faster or I get going.
So Marie's come back from pretty horrific back injury, and I think that's why you were so tough on the course. Do you believe that because you've dealt with so much pain through your life, that this is like one of your major strengths?
Yeah, I just think setting a goal for yourself and then trying to achieve it and believing in yourself, knowing that you can do something. And this trail running is so amazing to be part of, and the community, and then getting out there and seeing all the people and putting a smile on your face and seeing all the volunteers, and it just makes me so happy. So it's not a chore, it's not a job, and yeah, I love it. It makes me feel so strong and powerful, and yeah.
I think when we've had interviews in the past, I think your energy is just infectious, and I'm sure that's what gets you through.
Yeah, well, I think we'll see in the checkpoints by skating backwards or star jumping through. I don't know, we'll see.
Hey, we can't wait to see what you're going to be doing in other checkpoints, and we can't wait to see you at the finish line. Thank you for coming back.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Thank you.
So
Okay, all right. So that was great to hear from Mari. Oh, I can't wait to see if she can beat her course record here again this year. We've been tracking her. She's moving well. Karen Mickle is following her, is not far behind her. So they're our top two women.
Yeah.
We had another female in the field who did really well here last year. You want to talk about Cherie?
Yeah, so Cherie, we've just got word that Cherie has unfortunately pulled out with really bad feet issues.
She had some really good blisters.
Some doozies to say the least. She has really worked hard. She only did a 24-hour track event only less than a month ago, basically a month ago, and she did 170 Ks. So,
which is pretty good for a
it's pretty
track.
Incredible. So, yeah, unfortunately, she's had to pull out for today.
So I think that just goes to show you've actually really got to really respect the distance.
Yeah.
100 miles is a long way. 20 running 20 Ks is a long way. So to do 100 miles is really, really tough. But it's amazing. Again, I just can't believe how many people we still have out there moving around the course.
Yeah.
So we might just now look at this map here that we've got running. So we've got a little graphic here. You can actually all see this if you go to your live tracking. Yeah. So this is the first 20 hours of the miler. So I might just slide it back. You can see how
That's cool.
everybody is moving through the course. So they start here at Corrimalling Park, and we'll just play it. So this is like an hour in. Of course, you see immediately the field starts to stretch out. But what you might find amazing is this VS, which is Vlad out in front. It's hard to see who else is out there, but we've got Ryan. Ryan seems to be moving along quite well. a few other guys up in the field doing well, but
Yeah,
it's just
David
mainly
Broom,
the track.
etc., yeah.
So we'll just click through and you can see how quickly the field kind of spreads out. Of course, we have our group here they will come into the course. Yeah, as you see, they will join in. They're more of our slower, early starters so this is kind of like in real time. And you can see Vlad right up here. If I scroll down, and I can actually show you, I'm just going to scroll down to this graphic. Oh, no, that graphic's gone. It did show our course elevation, and so you could actually get a good feel for the elevation that they were travelling through over time. We haven't got that here, sorry about that. But I'll just give you a bit of perspective of how, if you look at the Brisbane area, how much ground these guys cover. So you can see here out of Mount Glorious, you have some great views. During the day, they would have some great views of that Wivenhoe Dam, which is our main water source out here.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have great views over here down to this Wivenhoe Dam. We saw some footage earlier, I think, or we're going to see some footage coming up where they show Jolly's Lookout, and you can see people stopping and taking photos. I mean, and it's no wonder because it's so cool. But this year just shows the, sorry if I'm scrolling around here, as they're moving through the field, and you can see, yeah, everyone's just tracking along nicely. It tells you here who they are. Marie, it's a red dot. Yeah. So
Very cool.
Yeah. So you can see Vlad just, took at this out.
Out in a league of his own, literally.
So he is now, we worked out, should be coming into checkpoint 6 if you're following him on the tracker.
Yep.
Love to know where Ryan is.
Just trying to get an update there. There he is.
Yeah, so Ryan's...
We'll zoom in.
So he's coming into... Has he left Corrimalling Park or he's coming into Corrimalling, that checkpoint?
I think he's coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Corrimalling is not normally a checkpoint. Usually they go into Gold Creek, but the Gold Creek Reservoir has been... due to all the rain we've had, those trails have been not accessible. They've not been safe to get trail runners in there, and accessing that area is a bit tricky. So they've had to divert the course and made the Corrimalling Park a checkpoint on the way back. So they leave there. So they left there this morning in the dark, and they're coming back there in the dark again. And they'll be making their way to us throughout the night. So yeah, he's coming to Corrimalling Park. So he should fit. I would say if you get there, you pretty much know you're pretty close to home, and you're going to be able to get through. And you never know though, you might get to see your BTR friends, Brisbane Trail Runner friends there at checkpoint 5 and go, I think I'll stop. Sorry, checkpoint 6.
Yeah, I was going to say 6. Yeah.
And say, no, I think I'll stop here with my friends.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
No, that's so cool. That's a great overview. I think we're going to go and see another interview now.
Yeah, so we're going to hear from our 60k athlete Marcus Pasquale.
The Brisbane Trail Ultra takes runners through 100 miles of Brisbane's finest bushland and rainforests, right on the doorstep of Queensland's capital city. Starting at the Gap on Brisbane's north side at Corrimalling Park, runners will head around via Enoggera Dam and up towards picturesque mountainous countryside. Along the way, they'll take on Hellhole Break and other gruesome ascents, keeping them on their toes as they head towards Mount Glorious, the iconic rainforest trails that the Brisbane Trail Ultra has become famous for. With plenty of challenging terrain, slippery rocks and muddy single track, runners will be challenged as they begin to fatigue on their journey home towards the city. Up through the steep incline of Kokoda Trail and onto the summit of Mount Cootha, runners will take in some city views in the final 20k stretch of their journey. As they weave their way into the River City and across the Goodwill Bridge, they'll finally lay eyes on their last challenge, the bittersweet pinch of the Kangaroo Point Cliffs. 100 miles, unlimited smiles as they hit the Red Bull finish chute on top of Brisbane's glorious Kangaroo Point.
Hey, it's Shona here, and I've got Marcos Pasquale with me from Spain. So he's come over with the Spanish media to cover our event and also to take part. How do you feel, Marcos?
Well, I'm feeling a bit nervous because it's my first little ultra, 65 kilometers. But yeah, fast course, really up and down. I've been training for that for the past 2 weeks because we ran the mountains in Spain, and I prefer to run up and then run down. But yeah, I'm back in Australia after 12 years, so I'm really liking this experience.
Oh, it's so good to have you guys out here, and it's so nice to have such a strong Spanish field. What do you reckon about like Spanish running at the moment worldwide, and also the fact that the Spanish did make the effort to come out to Australia? What do you reckon about all that?
First, the effort to come here it's crazy. It's 25 hours plane. So yeah, you come here and you must enjoy it. You should enjoy it because I mean it's Australia, it's the other part of the world for us. But yeah, there is a really high level in Spain, a very very good competition. I'm new because I've been running only for 2 years, but I'm making good results. Not as them, but but I mean it's only 2 years. I think I can run this race fast. I don't know how fast because I don't want to say something and then don't do it. But I think I'm going to run fast. Let's see.
Look, it is a really fast course. We've as you know, Australia, we have like bush issues and bushfires, and so we had to change a section of the course for planned. Yeah. Wildlife, there's wildlife here for planned burn or potential planned burn, but it didn't end up happening. So it's actually going to be a much faster course, maybe half an hour faster. So hopefully that will help you.
I've seen the last year times, the first one. I thought when you asked me, I was like, yeah, less than 10 hours. Obviously, I was like 6 hours or less. And then I saw the times, and I saw the first one was like 6 hours, and I was like, maybe I don't run so fast if the first run in 6 hours. But I don't know. I've been testing in Spain with more or less the coefficient of what we try. We take the kilometers divided with the elevation, and you have the coefficient, and we do that. And I've been running that 30 kilometers, about 1,000 positive. And I've run that under 5:30, so fingers crossed. I don't know. Maybe I fall and I break my leg. I don't know. I'm really clumsy.
No. I'm sure you'll be.
My legs. They're like. I like to step in everything.
That's so funny. I'm sure you'll be more than fine. And besides, remember our mandatory gear list, like with all the band-aids in it. You can just patch yourself up.
Let's hope I don't encounter any snakes. That's my only fear, the snakes, because it's the first time I read something about the snakes in mandatory gear. It's like, I don't know, water, food, hot weather. Snakes? What the hell, snakes? I know, I have fear of that.
It's really funny. All the trail runners that I know, no one's ever been bitten by a snake. You'll be fine.
Okay, let's run faster than a snake.
Hey, look, we can't wait to see what you can do on the course.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that was our pre-race interview with Marcus Pasquale, and we actually did get to talk to him afterwards because he came in second, and that was his longest run today, and he ran 67. He did run a few bonus Ks. He said, yeah, he went a little bit off course, and that was totally his error. And yeah, we talked a little about course marking and stuff. But we will go to another interview now with La Sportiva. So we'll throw over to that now.
Hey, it's Shona here, and I'm with Team La Sportiva Australia. So I've got Mick Keat.
G'day.
And I've got Jill Fowler. Hey, Jill.
Hello.
So look, Mick is doing the 110 and Jill is doing the 60. So we can't wait to see what they both are going to do on the course. Both of them haven't run it, which is pretty exciting. So Mick, what was the reason that you came up here to race this?
I've been trying to come up here it was in my third year, but because of COVID, it's squashed those ideas the past couple of years. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Seeing what the course is like, running into the city centre of Brisbane is unique to a normal race that we do. So yeah, it should be good. Looking forward to it. It'll be good fun.
So Jill, look, Jill and I have raced together, and so this is like a massive honour for me to have Jill Fowler here. I would have loved if you've done our 100 mile, but that's okay. Jill's been smart. Jill's been smart. She's doing our 60k. So Jill, what's attracted you to this race?
Well, I haven't been on any of the Queensland or local Brisbane trails, so I'm interested to see all the trails out here and what mountains you have. I was hoping for some really warm weather since it's winter, although there is a bit of a wind here today.
Yeah, it is. I think it's going to be about 21 degrees for your race, so it shouldn't be too cold for you. So we do have the sun, and it did it did fine up for you guys, so that's lucky. So have you heard much about the course, Mick?
Only from other members that have run it in the past couple of years, from Hayley, one of our team members. I've heard it's quite runnable, but there's little pinchy hills. So it's going to be interesting, I think. Being runnable doesn't mean it's easier. It means you got to run, but you got to save your legs. And that first 30, I believe, is fairly flat. So it's not going out too hard, too early, and saving your legs for the back half of it, I guess, is from what I've heard. Yeah. So
has she told you about township break?
No. What's to be heard about that?
I put ropes out.
Ropes for what?
The descent.
Oh, cool. That sounds like fun. So we can slide on our bum.
And there's also fernlands, and usually people, when they finish, end up with mud all over their butts.
Has it been wet, fairly wet out on course? Is it muddy or?
When they were marking the course, they got pretty wet and muddy.
Cool. The more mud, the more fun. So yeah, bit of mud, bit of rain, would be good anyway.
So Jill, you're a bit of a mountain gun, and we've raced together a few times. So have you looked at the profile of the course, and where do you reckon you're going to be pushing?
Oh, I haven't actually looked at it very much at all, and that's what I've got to do between now and when I start tomorrow. But I'll try and push up and down the hills. I think the hardest bit for me is going to be running the flats at the end.
Yeah. Look, did Hayley tell you about Kokoda climb?
No.
I think you'll be fine. Look, we can't wait.
It's exciting. Knowing what's out there.
Yeah. It will be interesting. I think it comes in at about, I'm going to say 40 Ks for you.
Okay.
So it will be a hands-on quads, but I reckon you can run it. Jill.
Well, it depends if anyone's watching. I might just walk.
Look, we can't wait to see what you guys can both do on the course, and it's so nice to have Team La Sportiva here because we've had a long-standing relationship with you guys, and it's always such a pleasure. So thank you.
Oh, so great to hear from Jill and Mick there. And one thing I took away from that one was about the pinchy hills.
Yeah, same. We both had a good giggle.
Yeah, because and I think, what did Mick say? That the first 30k is fairly flat. It's not. No. Okay, maybe the first 2 or 3.
And Shona just smiled.
Yeah. And then you're on that Mount Nebo road break, which is pretty up and down. That's the pinchy hills bit, which that can trip you. If you push yourself through there, then you're not saving yourself for township break. No, Jill didn't get to do township break, but we did have a chat with her afterwards, and she did say, they were pinchy hills. She did agree with the pinchy hills bit, and that it was hard. I don't know if we talked about Kokoda.
No.
But and they were both talking about Hayley there. So Hayley is did live in Adelaide, but she's actually lives up here now in out in Mount Tamborine, and she's always out here. Comes out for our training camps and run with the athlete. Unfortunately, she couldn't run this event again this year, but she's been out there in support. So would have been at the start line, I think.
Yes, she was.
Helping the registration stuff. So she's a great supporter of the event, and if she can run it, she does. And when she does run it, she's a gun. So when she's hot, she's hot. When she's not, she's helping us out and doing an amazing job on giving back to the community. Because hey, we just love it.
Yeah. We've got the footage here at the start.
Yeah.
Of the BTU 100 miler. Vlad out the front there, Ryan
Yeah.
Crawford to the side.
Yeah, so he can't be far away.
No, I'm just going to check that.
Yeah, so I've
Guys,
got
watch this.
yeah, I've got one of my young guys I coach out there in the miler. Really excited to see him just keep moving through the course. He's 19. Can you believe he's 19 running 100 miles?
Doing his first 100 miler?
No.
Wow.
This is his second 100 miles.
That's incredible.
So,
What was his first one?
was the Glass House last year, and he finished second or third on the podium. I know.
First 100
And
miler.
I think he is the youngest ever to run 100 miles in Australia. Is this his footage of Vlad?
Yeah. Look
Right
him
at the
go
start there.
From the start.
Being chased there by, I'm not sure who that is.
Right.
Let's see, there's Ryan.
Yep.
Very distinctive run there, Ryan Campbell. He'll be one of our females. I'm not sure who that one is. Who's that? Marie? Yep. So she's still out on the course moving well. We expect to see her before the sun comes up.
Yep.
The temperature has really dropped here tonight. It's 8 degrees. It's been a constant 8 degrees for the last couple of hours. We've got the heaters out to keep us warm. The runners, if they're moving, they should be okay in those temps. They might want to have a long sleeve shirt on, maybe some gloves, and won't want to hopefully not stop for too long. But yeah, they should be fairly comfortable. We've had actually really good weather. You heard Shona talking about, you see in those interviews that it was a bit breezy and cool. But today we've had no wind, hey?
Yeah, it's been very calm compared to
The
yesterday.
sun's been out. It's been an amazing day. So they would have had some really good conditions out on course. Not too hot, not too cold. It didn't get to 21. I think it was actually 19 in the end. So a little bit just under 20, which is unusual for Brisbane. That's below our average, I believe. So yeah, you can see them doing their little loop around Corrimalling Park. They head out of the park and they hit a little rocky trail that follows the creek. That's the flat bit. That's the little bit of flat. Yeah.
And thus endeth the flat bits.
That's the flat. That's probably one of the flattest bit until they get back into the city and they're running along the river.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So pretty amazing. I think we're going to see a bit later a little bit more footage up on the course in the light. But yeah, you can see them just easing, taking it super easy like you should at this point right at the start.
Yeah.
You can see they're heading in the trail. Yeah, it is quite dark there. Okay, so this is some of those pinchy hills
Vlad
they were talking
coming up the
about.
hill.
Yeah. And of course, Vlad's running
36
it. No, a bit of a
minutes in.
hike. So yeah, he's being very smart there,
Yeah.
conserving those legs early.
So where is that? It's very early on.
I can't really tell because it's dark, but where is that?
Oh, look at that. Holman break ascent.
Holman. Okay, so this is a little way up the Mount Nebo road, and then you sort of drop down. So there's power lines that come across the Mount Nebo road near Bellbird Grove.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the poles are out. Yeah, poles
Yeah.
are pretty handy in this event. I think that's Sam. No, who's that? I don't know who that is, but
I'm
yeah,
not
really
sure.
good pole technique there.
Yeah.
You can see that would really help with those. Geez, she's got muscly legs. Amazing.
Yeah, it's so good.
I wish I had legs like my legs are a little bit more.
What are you talking
Mine
about?
are muscly, but not like that anymore. Yeah, no, yeah, poles. Yeah, definitely poles are probably a really good aid. There's Ryan, and I'm not sure who's that with him. Powering up, yeah, and you have and at this point in the race, you're quite happy to have that company, especially in the dark.
Yeah.
You know, there is no desire to leave anyone behind.
Yeah.
If you're quite comfortable running and chatting, it's really good to pass the time,
I
I
was
find.
literally about to say it's a great way to pass some time. You know, half an hour, 2
Yeah.
hours. You can pass a lot of great time.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh,
Amazing.
What a shot.
Yeah. So this is, taken up probably about 20, 30 Ks in. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Great footage of the
Beautiful.
sunrise. And we've had some amazing sunrises
Mm-hmm.
here in Brisbane.
Yes.
I love running around this city in the morning and this time of year
Mm.
when it's nice and cool and not hot. And you get these really, not hot, and you get these really amazing sunrises.
Sure, that's David going
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
Let's look at that colour in the sky.
Yeah.
Wow.
She looks happy.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's still moving. I can't see their numbers. I can't pick out who they are. But yeah. That's one of the easier climbs.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Very early
because it's definitely easier coming out of Township Break than going down into, like, it goes sharp down and sharp up. And it just seems to be unrelenting. Yeah, you can see that, how steep that is. And that's one of the easier climbs.
Easier.
Yeah, easier of the climbs I will be doing. Yeah. There's Cherie.
There she is.
Yeah, so she's got her poles out. And she's not using them. Why isn't she using them? And Marie? Oh, she looks like she's got a bit of sweat up.
Yeah, she actually does look a bit sweaty at that point of the race. Very early on.
So, Oliver, he was out on the one of our training camps. There's Jackson, our youngest competitor in the race.
Mm-hmm.
I did a bit of a training run with Jackson not long after we'd had all that rain, and we went out and ran around Lake Manchester. We did a little tiny bit of the course that we could get to from Mermaid Mountain. Some beautiful trail running from Lake Manchester.
Yeah.
If you can get out there. Actually, Anthony came with us on that run. He did a little bit out and back up to Mermaid Mountain with us. So, yeah.
I'm just having a bit of an update here. Vlad has left CP6.
Has he done and he's on the Red Bull climb.
Yeah, so he's on a bit of a solid climb.
So I think
out of CP6.
Yeah. We got some, I think the 110k runners coming through with their paces. So if we get a bit of noise in the background, that's what's happening. One of our...
Actually, three runners finishing, 110k.
Yeah, I think are they all coming in together, or are they paces?
Yeah, it could be paces.
Oh yeah, I think there's a couple of paces there. We just cut to the finish line.
Thanks, boys.
We can't see because we're behind the lights.
Yeah.
We can see the tracking, but we can't actually see. Oh, so we're now going to McAfee's.
Oh, look at him moving.
Oh, this is Vlad.
Yeah.
Wow. He just looks so strong, smooth on those trails. Coming into McAfee's checkpoint. So crew can't go to this checkpoint because it's limited parking and stuff. It's a really cool place to visit. It is one of the higher points, and it's certainly the highest point of the 60. The 60k runners do come into this checkpoint. They would have been coming in a bit later. It's run, as you can see, by the Bunyaville Trail runners. We have lots of great running groups here in Brisbane that help us out at this event. You know, we had the Bunyaville Trail runners, AAA Racing do the Dundas checkpoint out there. You see they pop down this little bit of trail.
He was in and out of that checkpoint very fast.
That's
grabbed
what he needed and was in and out. Yeah, he's on a mission.
Absolutely.
So McAfee's is the highest point on the 60k course. It's actually quite exposed up there. So if you running, here we go. We've got, who's that? That's the guy with the great shorts and the muscly
with
legs.
the muscly legs that you like, that you appreciate a lot.
It's actually really exposed. So up there on that at that lookout, we run up there, we freeze. We're like, oh my God, let's get out of here. Get down Hellhole. So from there you head down Hellhole.
Right. Okay.
And that's another steep runnable down. That's not so. The down is not the too bad. It's the coming out of there that's quite steep.
Out of hell.
And actually, I was chatting with a friend of mine this morning who's training for another event which takes in that Hellhole track. And I don't know who names these trails, but that is what they've called it. And I don't know why they call it Hellhole. But, it's here we're cutting to the finish line as we've got another 110k runner coming in there. He looks really happy to have. The 110 is still a hard course.
Yeah.
The milers just do a little bit of an extra loop, pretty
just
much.
a little bit of an extra.
Little bit of an extra, a 50k extra loop. They still do that. They still come into McAfee's here. They still do Hellhole. They still go out there and do Township Break. So yeah, it's Still a really challenging horse, 110. So you can see here someone else coming into McAfee's. He's just topping up his water. So this is about, let me just check the map, probably about 30k in. So, you know, there's Ryan coming in. Yeah, it's probably about 28 kilometres. So they've done 28 kilometres by the time they get to McAfee's checkpoint. Oh, we've gone to the map so we can see. Yeah, so that checkpoint, as you can see, is up here. So as you can see, this is the Mount Nebo road break. So there's that 25k mark. This is where the Pinchy Hills are along here. You actually get some great views back towards the city here. So if you're out there at night, which and you're looking back, or early in the morning, I've got a great photo that I've taken early in the morning of the sunrise. You get the city, great views of the city from here. Yeah. So you can see they get up to here. Well, we're just showing you McAfee's. They then head down here, which is the hellhole. And you can see this creek here. This creek that's coming through here. So they actually crossed this creek a few times.
Yeah.
This is the Inogara Creek. So this is the main creek that feeds into the Inogara Reservoir. So there is water in the creek, but I know someone who was out there last week and who said they can get across the creek without getting your feet wet. Yeah. So the trick is to keep left there.
Keep left.
Keep left. There's usually rocks and a branch or something that you can get on and you can get across that creek without getting your feet. And it's a really steep, short, sharp up. And then you're back on South Boundary Road, which is this track here. And this is like quite a runnable road that takes you up to Mount Nebo.
Nice.
Up here. Yeah. So, yeah. So they leave that checkpoint we were just showing you. They head down Hellhole. This is South Boundary Road. This is quite a runnable, but it's more or less a continuous up. The 35k mark, and then they head up here, and we head to Jollies. And we're going to see some footage of Jollies before, which is about the 40k mark. Soon. We could show you this again, but I think we'll go back to that footage on the course. Yeah, here we go. There's Jackson. Here's our youngest competitor. He's 19, would you believe, doing his second miler here.
Second 100 miler.
Yeah, leaving McAfee's checkpoint. He's looking good there. That's good. Yeah, really cool to see him just easing down there. Yeah, so he came to me wanting to do 100k. And that was when we were in lockdown and doing 100k wasn't possible. And I went, oh, okay. And we set up 100k and he did it. And he had this goal, I want to do it under about 9 hours, which is pretty good. We did on the BVRT.
Yep.
Anzac Day.
Can you talk us through the lead up to doing that, though? What kind of training? Where was he at when he came to you and asked you to do that?
So he had done the Gold Coast 50.
Yeah.
And hadn't really trained properly for it. He, you know, and he has he's a PT, so he does that. He's amazing because he was doing year 12 when he first came to me. Yeah, so he was doing year 12, and so I was trying to juggle this, like, oh, do I really want to encourage someone so young to be running an ultra?
Yeah.
So I was a little bit conflicted because I don't really want to push people too young into doing an ultra run.
Yeah.
But I knew his mum. She's also done 6 foot track and a few other runs, a 6-hour event, and also so I knew he had that kind of background. So I knew that he had the support, family support, and she had actually, you know, made contact with me, or they'd made contact with me to guide him through this. So
so there was a support there from...
There was a support, and he had that background. He'd done a 50k.
Yeah.
So, you know, I kind of thought, okay, you know, and so his training was, he lives out in Wellington Point, Victoria Point, somewhere out that way. And we're just seeing Sheree there at McAfee's, getting a photo. Oh, there's...
That's Hayley.
Yeah.
Hayley Teal.
Oh, in a moon boots. There you can see. There was Hayley, who was mentioned earlier in our interviews.
Yeah.
She's... out there on the course. She's up at McAfee's helping out there at the checkpoint, giving Sheree some support. There's Brad.
Bradley Glover.
Brad just ran a pretty fast 100-mile time.
Yes, setting new Australian trail 100-mile record on the BVRT.
Yeah. So there's Sheree sorting her out. doing great support job.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got this, love.
A smile and a laugh.
And a smile. You know, that's
Yeah.
crew are so crucial in these events. I mean, it is possible. It is possible to do these events without crew. There's checkpoints. You can have
But
drop
it makes
bags.
all the difference,
But
right?
yeah, looking forward to seeing your crew.
Oh, some great footage there. Watching
Yeah.
her go down there.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. And there's Oliver. Not sure who this guy is. Oliver's been on our training, and I'm really sad to see he had pulled out again.
Yeah.
Had to pull out again. Obviously, something's gone not quite right.
So coming back to the training.
Oh, yeah.
And
So he lives out at Wellington Point, so he does a lot of his trail time at Bayview because you can't get too far from, busy student
Yep.
work because he does PT as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we still do intervals. We do hill wraps. We do some long trail runs, some fast finishing runs. We throw in some speed work into some of the longer runs. Yeah, and so it was amazing to go out, and he did it on his own. Like, it wasn't a race. He did that 100k on the BBRT. He had support from his family on that weekend. They took the Anzac Day, and I went out and did the last 7k, which was good fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, here's Marie coming into McAfee's checkpoint. I think we're still at McAfee's, aren't we? Yeah, the sun's just coming up. Yeah. So it's at 6:50. That's 7 a.m. So as you can see, it was still quite chilly at 7 a.m. I can say, yes, it was. I was not up there.
But you can see the wind.
I was
blowing
out running.
a bit as well.
What were you doing at 7 a.m., Ben?
I was still back at CP5.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it was actually a really cool morning, but these guys would have warmed them up a bit, I think. Another happy runner leaving checkpoint. What checkpoint is that? It's McAfee's checkpoint. McAfee's Lookout. Yeah, really good to see them all. Yep, coming through. Got the poles out. Oh, there's Mick. So these are some of the guys in the 110 now coming through.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need your poles going downhill, but you do need them coming out of there.
Yeah, so 110, of course, started half an hour later.
Yeah.
5:30.
So, yeah, you'll see some of those faster 110k runners catching up to some of the milers. Who have we got here? A couple of 110. There's a timing map there. Yeah, so at this point, you shouldn't really need much. If you're well fueled and well fed leading into a race, probably at this point you're just topping up your water.
Fluids, yeah.
Ideally, you should be topping up your water because you don't want to be carrying too much. Like, you really want to, because you've got to carry a lot of gear. I
As
always
you can
say
see,
to
the
people,
pack. I mean, look how much the pack's bulging just with all that mandatory gear.
Yeah.
Which is required. Like, it is. We talk about the safety.
Essential. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you don't know what's going to happen.
But yeah, topping up your water, because you probably haven't needed it either because it's really cool, but you will. It'll start to warm up from now. So I think it did start about 9, 10 a.m. started warming up. Here's Shona. Oh, whoops. So, she's got it all under control here, haven't we? She's delivering the fruit.
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to tip it out.
Fruit salad.
I hope
yummy, yummy.
I hope those bananas and oranges are okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we love Shona.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's
I rang her at one point, and she was to see where she was, and she was at Bunnings, and she was buying different assorted cloth tape, and cable ties, all the things we required.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Yeah. I'd love to update this, but I can't. I don't know why. Where's Vlad? Is he out in the Colgan circuit, out in the Barden area yet?
He's not yet.
He's still going up the Red Bull climb.
Still going up the climb, according to the tracking.
Actually, I think he's off the Red Bull climb and on Powerful Hour.
Okay.
So the Red Bull climb is that little curly bit there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
Can
show
you-
you. 'cause
you can't?
I could show you on here actually.
Yeah, if
we
you-
could
if
go
you-
to the map. If we scroll in. Okay, so this is not showing them because they're all out.
But you can show us
Yeah,
where.
but
hey,
I can
yeah.
show you using my little hand here. So the Brisbane Trail Runners are on. Actually, I'll zoom in a bit more. Okay,
Yeah,
so the
you're all over
Brisbane
it.
Trail Runners checkpoint 6 is just here. Somewhere, oh, in here. Somewhere there, just here. Actually, I tell a lie, it's right here. See how you run in there and run out.
Yeah.
So that's checkpoint 6. So that's that last checkpoint. Vlad's left the last checkpoint. The next time he'll see anybody to do with the race,
Yep.
it'll be us. Woohoo! So, so that says 145k. So he's got 20k, just under 20k to go.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So, and this is a downhill bit here. Oh, we've got Jolly's lookout footage. How amazing is that? So you can
Wow.
see they will come in here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see who's this, Vlad.
Yeah.
Look at him. So this is again. He's done all those pinchy hills, and look at that view.
Wow. He doesn't stop to take it in. He's
No.
moving on.
So they do a little loop around at the checkpoint at Jolly's.
Yep.
Let's go up here. This is it here.
Look how fast he's moving.
So yeah. So he's done 40 k's there. So you can see here, this is Jolly's lookout.
Mm-hmm.
They've done the pinchy hills. They've come up here. They do a lap around the lookout. They get that awesome view. You actually we'll see some of them take some photos when they get there. So yeah, he's practically done a marathon. Yeah. So you'll see the guys. What they're
look
doing
there,
now
that
is
little
they're
view.
running up. Yeah. So they
Yeah.
run up here, around here. They get that awesome view, the Jolly's lookout. If you're ever in Brisbane, go up there. You're going to just see some amazing footage. And they go round. We have the odd run that we do that starts up here at Mount Nebo on Jolly's Lookout. And they come down, they do this other little loop. It's a really beautiful rainforesty little loop that they do just to add in. Because it's just so beautiful, you know, you've really got to take them on that little Aegenia circuit. Here we go, we've got another. And the 110 and the milers, they all get to do this little bit. So you don't miss out if you're doing the 110. They go over that timing mat there, so we know that they've been to Jolly's. Here comes Ryan. Yep, still moving well, as you would, because you know you've only done about a marathon by the time you get here. He does nothing. Ryan actually gets up most mornings at around 3, 4 in the morning and runs a marathon
That is
before he
true.
goes to work.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And he does hard work too. He doesn't sit in an office.
No.
He does hard
That's
labouring
right.
work
Yep.
all day after running a marathon.
Yeah.
Before
amazing.
work.
Yeah. So yeah, they do
Just
their
that
little
commitment.
loop there around Jolly's. So yeah, we're 40k into the race. So yeah, if you're visiting Brisbane, I highly recommend you go up there and have a look. It's worth the drive, well worth it. And then continue up to Mount Glorious and take in the western window. So here we're looking back towards Brisbane. We're kind of looking west. Yeah, we're looking west. Might just see the bay right over in the distance.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, there's one of our runners. He stopped to take a photo
Yeah.
before he kept going. Yeah, amazing. We'll see some really cool footage. So yeah, that's 9:39 in the morning. So it's actually starting to get a bit warmer by now. Yeah, round the grass. And then yeah, I think that's yeah. There's Ryan taking it in. Check out the view.
Mm.
Yeah. You see the mountain bikers up there. It can get really busy. If you get up there around lunchtime, you'll be pushing to get a car park.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, we head up there really early in the morning and run.
Yes.
And then when we get back 4 or 5 hours later,
There's people everywhere.
there's
and
people
bikes
eyeing
and-
off our car parks and wanting us to get off the move off the grass and say, yeah, get a car park. Yeah. But it's a pretty... I'm amazed the cyclists run up there. The cyclists ride up there
Wow.
on the road. I know. And it's a really windy road too. I think we're going to see some footage now. We're going to head down into the rainforest from Jolly's. Yeah. So this is on that little loop. There goes Mick.
Jeez, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Pitta Circuit, Boombana, yeah. So we're still up around Mount Nebo. Okay, and you'll see this really beautiful subtropical rainforest. You're just trying to see that, you know, it's a little different to where we were. A lot more leaf litter and some big trees up there, massive big trees. You get a lot of paddy melons up there, like kangaroo type paddy melons.
Little dark ones.
Yeah.
Little furry ones.
Yeah, you see them quite often up there.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if there's koalas, but I have definitely seen koalas sort of out in that area.
Yeah.
Definitely echidnas. I've seen out and around Mount Cootha and out that way. Snakes.
No
Who was
snakes.
it mentioned snakes? One of our Spanish athletes, Spanish team, mentioned something about snakes. Yeah, there's some great little boardwalks. Yeah, look at this beautiful tree
wow.
here. Yeah. So yeah.
It's great footage the guys
Yeah.
have captured.
You see there's a trail marker, so you know you're in the right spot. Yeah. So there's a
Amazing.
beautiful little boardwalk. You can access that from up at Mount Nebo. That you do. Here we go. Here's a very happy 110k. No, she's a miler. Is she? Oh, apparently she went the wrong way.
But she was happy about it.
Yeah.
Until she realised.
Oh, yeah, she went past.
Like,
You got to go down here. Yeah, very good.
Oh,
No, she didn't
yeah.
go too far.
That's good.
Yeah. She didn't go too far.
Quick
She
adjustment,
realised
little
very
pivot.
quickly that, there's no markers. I've
Yeah.
got to go back. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, so there's a lot of this. And up at Mount Glorious, it actually gets even better on that west side track.
Wow.
So what's up at Mount Glorious, there's the Myala picnic area. And it's much like this with the ferns, but a lot denser.
So the west side track was the one that was opened up specifically just for the event.
Yeah, so it's been closed for the last. Here comes Cherie. She looks
Yeah,
happy.
very happy.
Yeah, about 10:30 in the morning now. So it's starting to get a bit warmer. So they'll be a little bit more comfortable running. The west side track had been closed because of a landslide. If you can see the terrain here, well, you can't really tell looking here, but it's very steep.
Mm-hmm.
It drops off quite steeply. It's amazing to run through there, but and so she almost did the same thing, went past the turn off there to get back onto that little loop. It's been closed for a couple of years, I think 2-3 years from
okay.
landslide, and they've only just, because it's so hard to get access in there, fixed that up. So until then we had to run along the road. Obviously not ideal for trail runners when they've done about 50 or 60k to have them running along the road. But you can see this is a nice little section of trail here. Following Cherie.
Looks like an actual kind of gradual, pinchy, very runnable.
This is a nice little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is actually not too bad.
Yeah.
It's not those pinchy hills. You can see the people coming down those stairs now. We've got a different angle. Still looking happy. Because it's starting to get a bit warmer. We're not hungry yet. It's not lunchtime yet.
Yeah. Still early days.
Hopefully they've been eating well and continuing to eat and fuel and take in their water, not too dehydrated.
Wow.
So you can see, look at that.
Beautiful footage.
Oh, I know.
Once again, great work from the whole team from Element.
I
who've
think we need to wrap up.
brought us that footage.
Yeah. So what's the time? How long? So we know Ben's.
11:20.
We know Vlad. We know Ben. Vlad is probably. Is he going to get in before midnight?
What time is it? 11:20. Oh, I don't know. You tell me. We're looking at
40
where he
minutes.
is here.
Ooh.
You're the guru when it comes to location and on the map. And
Okay.
so I'm just going to.
We might end it there. We're gonna.
We might have a little break, and then
yeah.
we'll be back when we are close
Expect him,
to have Vlad coming
I
through.
think he's still on close. I think he's looking on track actually to break. He will definitely break the record. But anyway, we'd like to thank our sponsors. There's a lot of people that that support this event. That's Red Bull, as you can see there. Tourist Events Queensland, Spartan Trail. It's the Spartan Trail World Champions. Thanks to K2's base camp. I'd really love a beer, Newstead Brewing Co. I'm a nutrition. Bush Heritage Australia. All our runners get a pair of socks from Bush Heritage Australia, which is pretty cool. And of course, La Sportiva, who bring a great team of athletes every year. Thank you.
We're back soon.
welcome to the 2022 Brisbane Trail Ultra. Over the course of the weekend, we'll see runners participate, compete and push themselves to reach the finish line across multiple distances and some incredible terrain in the heart of Queensland's capital city. At the Brisbane Trail Ultra, points are on the line as part of the Spartan Trail World Championship event, with the 30-kilometre challenge and the 100-mile ultra being fiercely competed throughout the weekend. Follow along as we celebrate, support and enjoy the athleticism on display through some of Brisbane's best trails. The BTU crew and supporting community welcome you to the Brisbane Trail Ultra.